Hey beautiful, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, hi, my name is Alexisjayda and welcome. I do makeup and story times and other good stuff. Hey y'all, so I'm going to Texas. Oh my gosh. I'm excited. I will be out there for my anniversary and 4th of July, hopefully by the time this video is uploaded, I'm already in Texas. Texas, the 956. I am so excited. I haven't been in Texas for 2 years and it's just a lot, y'all. You guys know my whole grandma situation, all of the situation. If you don't, it's a lot. It's a lot of emotions. It's a lot. And I feel like I don't want to pull back from sharing. It's like, I feel like the older sister, like, do as I say, don't do as I do. You know what I'm saying? Especially when it comes to like my grandma, like you're still talking to her or you still want to talk to her. Y'all, I know it's a very toxic thing. It's hard. It's a lot to handle. I just know me, myself, and I, the guilt I would have if I did not go and at least to my grandma or communicate with my grandma. Our relationship is never gonna be the same, but I just know like I gotta take care of like my conscience, myself, because God forbid she goes and we are how we are, you know, like bucking, we are fighting. I just know that like y'all would have to like pull me off the floor because like I would just be like, you know what I'm saying? But anyways, y'all, I'm going to Texas. I'm so excited. And this is our 100th video. 100. So you guys had a lot of good suggestions. A lot of you guys said to go live. I cannot go live, okay? I went live one of the times and I name slipped. And I was like, one fan bam caught it. She messaged me until this day. She's like, ever since I found out the name, babe, I'm always so tempted to leave in the comments. I'm just like, please don't. I just want to like leave little trails of like breadcrumbs. I'm like, please don't. I did go live one time and we did like a comparison of like celebrities and stuff like that. It was so fun. But I feel like live, especially when I get like really passionate about a story time, the name's gonna slip out. Like a lot of you guys said a 2-hour story time, so I will try not to cut as much from the story time because usually when I record a story times they can be like super long, but I feel like I overshare a lot and I tend to over explain myself a lot, and I think that's why the videos aren't as long, is because I'm cutting out a lot of me over explaining, or I get like side distracted, or I'm oversharing and I'm like, I'll try not to cut down this one as much. So grab your cabecita. I hopefully have uploaded the video on how to make this so you guys can see so we could drink it together. Oh, there's like so much to still do, y'all. And I'm like, I am a procrastinator. Like seriously, send me good vibes. I love y'all. Let me know what you guys are doing. Well, let's do a notification. Shout out goes to Jesus Saves. Your comment was hilarious. I love you so much. Thank you so much for all your love and support. Seriously, I love you. It never goes unnoticed. Thank you guys for all your guys' support. You guys seriously mean the world to me. Thank you so much. If you want to be part of the notification squad, all you guys have to do is just like the video, hit subscribe, and leave a comment down below, and your comment can possibly be the next notification shout out. Also, I did get upset yesterday about a comment that I did receive because someone didn't understand my dry humor. She commented, no, she didn't speak it into existence. You kept having sex as a teen. You did that. No one did it to you. Stop playing the blame game when you kept opening your legs. And I said, well, no, I swear I have to be like, I'm joking when I make comments like this. Y'all be for real. This is why I over explain. It was a joke. Obviously, it doesn't work that way. Her saying that I was going to be a teen mom, it's a joke when I say like, oh, she spoke it out into existence. I don't know. I just think that you guys are like, we're in the 100th episode, that you guys know like my humor and stuff like that. But I will mention from time to time, like if I am telling like a joke like that, or if I'm being like a smart ass, I'll like make sure to like let you know like I'm just joking, you know. Sometimes I can come off my humor like super dry and I don't notice it, you know. Obviously I know, you know, I was ass up that, just kidding. No, like I know what I was doing. Obviously there's a lot of that they said and they were wrong by a lot of them. I was just like being funny, but it did irritate me because I'm like, are you so for real right now? Like it reminded, you know why it irritated me, and I'm gonna be so serious, it's because when I was pregnant with Jade, I remember getting like a bunch of like junk food and I posted a comment on story and I was like, oh my gosh, the baby's craving this. Like I'm being funny. Like I'm being like it's a joke. Obviously, the baby does not want Taco Bell, Beto's, Pizza Hut, like junk food, fast food, you know? She's like, your baby is not craving that all the time. You're craving that. Babies cannot possibly crave that. And I'm just like, I understand now why we have warning, caution on certain things, because people take things so literal. You know what I mean? I'm just like, it's a joke. Bitch, you know you weren't joking. Yes, the I was. Like, it was just a little you know what I mean? Like, what the heck? But it's all love. I still love you, and thank you for supporting my channel. Really means a lot. I was young. I was a teenager. There's a lot of things, like, I'm reading from my diary of like how I was thinking. Of course, grown Lex isn't gonna like be acting the same. I should have never been like trying to catch them in the act or whatever. It was like this toxic thing that I was like, no, like I have to. Little Lex was toxic as well. There's a lot of like toxic shit that I did, and I feel like I do like mention that. I feel like I say it so much that I'm like, okay, I don't think I have to say it this time. You know what I mean? But that's on me. Like, that's my bad. I did a lot of toxic things. Like, what I should have done, call up Bubbles. What I should have done when I was upstairs, like making them like a noise and stuff like that, I should have been like, Mr. Peach, come get your puta daughter right now. You know, something, algo. But I was just like, no, I need to see it with my eyes. When little Lex would dig, I needed to dig so deep that I was just like, there's no coming back, like none. Is that something toxic? Yeah. Is that something that Big Lex does? No. Like, so there's like there's, you know what I mean? Like, past me and present me, like, it's not the same. There's a lot that I would have done differently. And there's a lot of conversations where I'm like, you know, I had that path and I speak to my daughter about, and how I want to raise her, how to handle situations, and, you know, things like that. When I look back on how I, you know, pretty much raised myself, and it was tough because there were so many things where I just tried to pull from like everything, but I pulled a lot of like the toxic because it was very addicting, and I feel like I didn't know anything but toxic kind of like discipline, even if it was towards myself, you know. And I needed to because I felt like, okay, that's it. Like, it was done. Like, it was a putazo to my face. If I were to see it, okay, I was a teenager. And at times también, I don't want to go too hard on Lex because I could be super nasty. And you probably think like, well, I wouldn't talk to myself like that. But like, I'm my worst enemy. There's nothing that you can say that I haven't already told myself. There's nothing that you can do to me that hasn't been done to me. It was just a lot. And it's very hard because it's very hard to like share your life. And even though there's like a lot of love and stuff like that, when little Lex gets like, I guess I get really like butthurt when little Lex does something bad because I'm scared to share it. But I always will share the bad and the good, you know. But when I do like toxic stuff or like things that just don't make sense, and recently I came across a comment about me when I, you know, and she was so disappointed in me, and she was like, I never thought you'd, and I was so hurt. But I'm just like, you know what, I'm not going to be too hard on myself and apologize for my actions. It happened, and I was young. And it's hard, and I don't wish that type of pain or that type of darkness on anybody. If anybody, you know, now when someone says like, oh, I would have never, that makes me happy for you, love. Because I wouldn't even want you to experience that. I would not want to put that juju on anybody. And words are powerful, you know. So I guess I get like very like defensive when little Lex gets like, or like, I can't believe like you would do that to yourself, and don't you feel embarrassed that, you know, you're sharing that part? I would have kept that to myself. And I'm like, you know what, I'm not embarrassed, and I'm glad I didn't keep it to myself, because that one like mean comment of like, I can't believe you did that to yourself, like that's like disgraceful, like, you know, it goes against the Bible and stuff like that, because I do, you know, talk about God sometimes. It's a sin in the Bible, okay. And I've never have came on here and been like, I'm perfect, ever, you know what I mean? Because I'm not. But anyways, that one comment does not compare to the 20, 30, 40, 50, 100 messages I get of saying, thank you so much, Lex, for being so vulnerable and sharing that, and me not feeling alone. Someone recently commented about me talking about my OCD a lot lately, and how it makes her feel so seen because she thought something was wrong with her. And that like hit my heart, because I feel like I didn't like talking about my OCD for like the longest, because I was like, oh my god, people are gonna be like, oh my god, why is she doing that? She's such a weirdo. But it's because of y'all. You guys have made me extremely comfortable and have comforted me in ways that like you wouldn't believe. Like, it's so amazing, and it's so awesome that I have such a connection with y'all. And I just want to say like thank you. Like, you guys are just fucking amazing. So yeah, that was like my little rant. my little round. I don't know if I already uploaded the mukbang, but I didn't want to do the mukbang with the story time for the Nanny series because I did get a few fan writing me like, Lex, please don't do that for the Nanny series. Please do it separately. So I did do it separately. If you guys hear Jade, it's because she's fighting with her brothers. But dang, I ranted a little bit. But yeah. So story time and good vibes. Just want to say I love you guys all. Even Fam Bam, who gives me a little bit of like, hey, don't be doing that, or hey, you shouldn't say it like this, or hey, that. I love you guys all. I love you guys all, and that's what family is. We're not always going to agree on things, and that is 100% normal. As long as we keep it very respectful, keep it cute, I'm always gonna allow for, you know, opinions to be down below, you know, in a respectable manner, of course, because sometimes people be crazy on the internet saying some like out of pocket shit. But anyways, you guys, let me know what you guys are doing. If you guys are cleaning, if you guys are cooking, if you guys are working, if you guys are working out, let me know down below. And let's get started with our story time. Boom. Chicka bing, bing. Bing, chicka bing, chicka bing. Bing. You guys see my shirt? She's a life ruiner. She ruins people's lives. So I'm throwing open in the restroom. I'm throwing up. Like, I'm telling y'all, this is like an intense throw up where you're doing the whole like it's intense, okay? Peeing myself, like, I have no control over the bladder right now. Like, it is just insane. So when Skillet says that, I automatically get so freaking scared, and so many thoughts start rushing through my mind. Oh my gosh, it would explain this. Oh my gosh, it would explain that, and this and that. And I'm like freaking out, trying to think. So she repeats it again. Lex, I'm like, I heard you, because I'm just like, you know, getting scared. I feel like the louder you are gonna be saying this, you're gonna speak it out into existence. So anyways, I'm like really scared, you know, and Tati comes back, hands me the clothes. Instead of keeping those pair of pants, I throw them away. And you might be thinking like, dude, that's not a big deal. I get so mad thinking about all the clothes that like I would throw away, where I'm just like, Jade, why did you do that? And it's so weird because it's like not even a big deal, but like tell me why it irritates my soul. I remember cleaning out my locker and I had like a period stain. And I remember like I hid it in the back of the thing. Long story. So I was like cleaning out my locker, I see it, and I just throw it in the garbage. And I guess like now, because I'm an adult and I see like how like expensive things are, and I'm like, who the hell did I think I was throwing away a pair of jeans? Who in the did I think I was, you know? So silly. Anyways, I change, and Mel is trying to like, has anyone like tried to like rub you? Like they don't know what part to rub of you to like calm down. So I'm like, stop, you know, talking to her like that. Skillet asks if she can have a moment. Just me and her. Mel is like, are you okay with that, babe? I'm like, yeah, I'm okay with that. Skillet comes into the stall with me and she's like, are you good? Are you good? Like whispering, like if they're not right there, you know? And I tell her like, yeah, like I don't think I am, but like, dude, I'm so scared. She's like, let's go check. Like, come on, I'll buy it and we'll check. Don't worry about it. And deep down, I was like, oh, this could be a little baby. This could be a little baby. Mind you, I am a baby myself. I am scared. I am terrified. There's so many emotions running through my body. So as I'm like talking to her, my phone goes off again, and it is the ex, and he is saying, where are you? Hello? Question mark. Where are you? Where are you? Now, I'm not trying to justify how I would act, okay? But I do feel at times I get a little defensive because I'm just like, I know I was stupid, okay? You know, that kind of thing. He had me like this, like that, where I was like, okay, how am I gonna escape to go and be with him? Even though I'm over here seeing him walk, we're passing each other, all that, right? So it's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? I don't know. So I want to text him, but I don't want Skillet to look at me and be like, what the fuck are you doing right now, you know? And I'm just like, I gotta go be with my baby daddy, bitch, you know? Like, I'm already like, she don't want to be saved. So she's like telling me that she will help me buy the pregnancy test, and that she will take me to like the clinic and stuff like that. They're like, what do you want to do? Like, she over here being my baby daddy, you know? And I'm just like, I'm scared. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know what to do. And like, like all kinds of things. Okay. So I have two primas that like from the get had it out for me, in the sense of like, they always called it of like, she's probably out there doing this to my mom and stuff. And I was like, no, I'm not, even though I know damn well. But what I didn't like is how they are like, we're family, but where the were you when my mom was going crazy? I know where Tommy was. Where were you guys? You know what I'm saying? So I was just, all these emotions are running through, and Tati is like, are we gonna go and finish the movie, guys? Like, I want to go finish the movie. And Skillet is like, your movie, bitch. Ain't no one give a about that movie. And just like focus on me and just wants to talk to me. And you hear a, can I come in? And it's Mel. So now Skillet is like getting like, yo, like what the So she opens it and she's like, you need to off. Like, you need to off. And so instead of Mel being like, oh, okay, you know, and I felt bad because I'm like, you know, she just has like good intentions. Like, it's not my fault that like that's my girlfriend without me knowing that's my girlfriend, you know, like she's just trying to take care of me. Hey, like, I don't know, we gotta go on Jerry Springer, you know. Is Melt the dad? Is Skillet the dad? Is a baby daddy the dad? You know what I mean? And I just felt like she was just like wanting to, like, since she was there with me going to the restroom, like she wanted to be part of the moment. I totally get that. It's like, dude, what the I'm the one who was holding her hair. Like, let me in, you know? So I could totally see it. So I was like, yo, like, be nice. Mel is like, so are you guys? And that set Skillet off. No, what the like, why? Like, even if we were, why? Like, why does it matter? Like, why does it matter? She's like, well, I just want to know so I know, like, where I stand. I'm like, Mel, like, we can just be, you know, we're just cool. We're just friends. And she's like, whatever. She gets, like, a little, like, upset. And I don't even think it's because, like, I led her on or anything like that. I think she was just, honestly, like, she probably thought, like, I was confused, you know? Or, I don't know. Who knows? You know? When I talked to Mel and stuff like that, she just said that she was just came off really strong. She thought, like, that's what she needed to do was, like, to come on strong. And my big dick energy was strong, you know? And I don't blame her because I feel like my masculine side came out a lot, especially when I was younger, because Lex only held herself, and herself, you know? So Tati leaves, Melt leaves, and it's just me and Skillet. And Skillet is telling me like, all right, so like, where do you want to go? I'm gonna call one of my homegirls and she can take us and we can go to Walmart, we can get you a test. And I'm just like scared. I'm just like, okay, like I don't like, I'm just so scared. Like, I'm like scared to even like pee on the stick. Like, I'm like scared because I feel like once it goes like positive, game over. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, my baby is going to be first. Everybody, like, I gotta do what I gotta do. And it was like a very like serious feeling, overwhelmed, and I'm just like, this is it. Like, this is it. Like, this is it. Like, I'm gonna be a mom, you know? It felt very, very intense. And speaking of mom, y'all, I saw my knees. Baby fever like crazy. Okay, so anyways, sorry, my bad. So she tells me she's gonna make a phone call and that she'll come back. I'm like, okay, cool. She leaves me in the stall and I'm just like sitting there literally using the freaking toilet as a seat. And I reply back to the ex that I left and he is like, why the did you leave? I know you seen me. So I start fighting with him like, I know you seen me, so why didn't you come up to me? Why are you acting like you? He's like, oh, like, why do I always gotta go to you? Like, trying to like argue with me. And I was like, you know what, like, I'm not even trying to do this right now. I got a lot on my mind. He's like, what the can you possibly have on your mind? I swear you're just looking for to fight with me about. And I was like taking a minute to reply because honestly, you guys, I feel like I was like zoning out, just already playing the stuff in my head of like, oh my goodness, this is what's going to happen. Oh my goodness, you are going to be stuck with him now because you don't want your kid to be jumping from place to place. And let me just interject real quick, you are not stuck with somebody just because you are having a baby with them. Okay, do you hear me? You are not stuck. Don't have that type of mentality. It is not good for you, yourself, or your baby. It's not good. Don't feel like you're stuck. There's so many programs. There's so many things. Churches can help you. There's programs for just moms. There's so much now on social media that is now more like you can, you know, get more access to it because of social media. There's so much more help, you know? So don't ever feel like, oh, I have to, like, that's it. I'm pretty sure there was a lot of help even back in the day, but there wasn't social media like how it is now, you know, where it's like you can just go on like TikTok, Instagram, YouTube and be like, oh, I need help with this, like this, and you'll get people, oh yeah, you know, you don't have that sense of community. And back then, and even now, you know, being a teenager and pregnant stuff, it's still very, very hard. I'm not saying it's easier. I'm saying that like there's more, it's more like, okay, there you go, you know. And back then, being a teenager and pregnant, it's still very like, what the fuck now, but like back then too, still what the you know what I mean? And it was more harder, I feel like, to get information because it was just not secretive. It was just harder to find. I don't know how to find the right words for it, you know? And I'm over here like, give me a chance to explain before someone's like, but I'm just thinking like now I am stuck with him. Like I'm stuck with him. We have to make sure that like we're good. Just like trying to like, you know, be positive about the situation and just trying. And still, I don't even know if I am. It's just, she put that out there and I was like, oh my gosh, I hadn't thought about that, you know, like what if, like, oh my gosh, girl, what if? So it feels like a lifetime has passed and finally I hear Skillet's footsteps coming back in. She's like, girl, don't get mad. And I was like, what? She goes, I told the ex that you might be pregnant. And I'm like stunned because I'm like, weren't you supposed to go out there and find us a ride? Like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? And I was like, why would you do that? She's like, because like he deserves to know. Don't piss me off right now. I was like, what are you doing? Like, how would you even know that like it's his? Like, what if it's not? She's like, bitch. She's like, what the heck? Like, why would you do that? Like, why would you even tell him anything? So now it makes sense where it's like he's over here asking because she's over here being a freaking snitch. It irritated me, y'all, where I was like, what was that reason? Like, what was the reason? Like I don't get it. It felt weird where I was just like, explain it to me why you would do that. I don't understand. But I can maybe see where it's just like we're teenagers. She's over here panicking. She's probably thinking like, Alexis wants him because like I did, you know, where I was like, oh my god, I want to go to him. Oh my god, this. So she was like, let me just like do it for her. I don't know. I feel like we were all freaking out. We were all freaking out. She was probably freaking out like, what the hell? We're babies. How can this happen? Don't know like how to, I don't know how to like navigate this situation. So she tells me he's gonna be waiting for us in the parking lot. And I'm like, great. So he's gonna be the one to take us. Like I wanted it just to be me and her in the restroom at Walmart. And she's like, dude, like he has to be there. Like he has to know. I was just like, okay, whatever. Like it feels awkward now. So I text Tati that I am going to be leaving, that I'm sorry, but like I really, you know, had fun. I don't feel good now. I just like literally threw up on my guts. And she says it's fine. Please wash her shorts and bring them back to her. Yeah, cool, whatever, you know, I will. So we're leaving, we're going out, and then I hear Alexis. And before I even turned, I already knew that it was Mel. So I turned around and she was like, you're just gonna leave without like not saying anything? And I was like, oh, like I'm so sorry. She's like, give me your phone right now. So I give her my phone. She puts her number in there. Call me, let me know, like update me. And then she like goes like that to my little pancita. And like the whole time I'm thinking like, y'all stop, like stop. I'm like freaking out. Like this is like, it's not even like, oh my god, we're gonna go party, I'm pregnant. It's not the vibes, fam, okay? Skillet don't even want to look at her. Don't even want to look at her. Mel is like, bye, Skillet. She's like, girl, bye. Just leave. Get your and leave. She's like, okay, whatever. She leaves and I'm like, dude, what's your problem with her? She's like, she just comes out way too strong and I don't like it. I don't like how she like is trying to force herself into this friendship. I swear I could hear her, but I just ignored her. I was just like, I don't care. I'm just annoyed that like you told him and I didn't even get to like process this by myself because I didn't even know how he was going to react. And in my head, I had like, oh, he's gonna react and like be happy on some stupid kid. I was like, he's gonna be so happy. He's gonna be like, oh my god, I love you so much. Like part of me was like, oh my god, it's gonna change him. Trigger warning. And then the other part of me is like, he's gonna like beat the shit out of me and make sure I lose it, you know? And so I had like so many like emotions like running through my head, kind of like that character from, you know, Inside Out. And I was just like stressed out. We go outside and he's like in front of his car like this, like, you don't look pregnant. Immediately. And I'm like, what? Like obviously, what are you talking about? The baby's like probably cells right now. Like, what are you talking about? Like, it was just so irritating because I was just like, what the f, dude? Like, why are you so dumb? He's saying that my phone starts to vibrate and I look at it, it's Mr. Peach, and he's saying that like he really needs help with the kids, that he has to go and do something, and that if I know where Sam's at. No. And that's all I say is no. Like, no. Because I'm like, I need to stop always like running or explaining to everybody. Like, I just need to focus about me right now. So he tells me like to get in the car. I get in the car, Skillet gets in, and he's like, why are you coming? She's like, so we can go get the pregnancy test. He's like, yeah, but like this is just like a me or her thing. Like, why are you here? And I'm like, because I want her here. So me and him kind of go back and forth. Like, we're arguing. She's like, so you don't want me to come? Like, what are you talking about? So she's like looking at him and it's like a legit, like, she's her. And he's like, yeah, like, why are you here? Like, what? Like, are you f***ing her? Like, am I f***ing her? Don't talk to her like that. Like, why are you talking to her? Like, what the f*** is wrong with you? So I'm gonna like get out of the car, and he like pulls me back rough. And then Skillet's like, be careful with her, like loud. We're probably not gonna even keep it. Like, I don't even want it. And I was like, just stunned. I didn't know what to say. And it was just like, okay, he's just scared, and that okay, she can go, but he doesn't know why she has to go, that like she's not part of our relationship. And I was like, and either is da 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 da, all the names. And he just like looks at me and he's like annoyed. Don't act like Skillet's just like, oh, like just somebody like over here acting brand new, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Should I've told her like, oh yeah, like get out? Maybe, but I didn't, because like I felt like I didn't want to be alone with him, because what if something was going to pop off, you know? I never thought so many times like, oh, he like probably wouldn't because like I'm pregnant. No, like he did not care. Even when I got pregnant with Andrew, and even when I was pregnant with Angelica, he straight up punched me in my stomach when I was pregnant with Angelica. Like my stomach tightened so ugly when I was pregnant with Angelica, and he punched me so hard in my stomach, not once, not twice, and it hurt so freaking bad. Like it was horrible, y'all. And you think like, oh, when I'm pregnant, like, oh, they wouldn't, because like you think, well, I thought like I was gonna be off limits, or like that was gonna be the last time, da 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 da. No, it was straight like hard, like it was super hard. So I didn't like really fully like want to even be alone with him, because something like, it was like an instinct that I had where I was like, nah, like I gotta be very careful. I gotta play my cards right now in this moment, because God forbid this and this, God forbid this and that. And I could have had Mr. Peach pick me up, but I wasn't even ready to go home and deal with all that mess. I was like I just honestly I wish that there was a pause button, like boop. Gonna take a little break right now, you know what I mean, like a commercial break. We'll be back, y'all. So we take off and we go to Walmart. We get pregnancy test. I pee on it. One of the lines is really pink. Other one, it's like very faint, but it's there. I'm paranoid. I start freaking out. Skillet is like, you know what? It's pretty faint. It could be a faulty one. I don't think it is. Let's go get another one. So I was like, okay, you go out and you get another one, and I'm staying in there. He starts texting, why are you in there? What's taking so long? I'm going off. Take the second one. The second one doesn't have the faint light. Now, Skillet was saying that because it's still too early, that I probably don't have enough of like the hormone in my pee. And I'm like, dude, I don't know how this works. Like, I'm just so scared. She just told me to chill, just calm down, that she knows what she's doing. And I'm like, all right, but dude, like, I'm like scared. She's like, I know, like, just calm down, babe. And I'm just like freaking out, because it kind of felt like it was like a tossed coin. It was like 50 yeah, 50 no, 50 yeah, 50 no, you know, like I was scared. I was really like, what the heck. So I come out and I show him both of them, and he's like looking at them because he doesn't want to touch them. I know some people are gonna be like, oh my god, it's normal, it's pee. I guess I'm just like, now since like being with my husband literally like nothing can make him be like, ugh, when I show him anything of like mine or anything like that. He's just like, if he could just like be in my armpits all day, he would be in my armpits all day. You know what I mean? Like literally like just smelling me all the time. Even on like on my worst days, he's just like, that's when he wants me even more, you know? So when I reminisce, I go back on like on things that like, that he would be like, ugh, or whatever. I'd be like, that's crazy. Because in my mind in that time, I'd be like, that's weird, you know, or like, that's a lot, because I never liked to make him feel that way. And, like, I didn't pee on the handle, you know, and it's like, okay, maybe because it's pee, whatever, it's gross, whatever, but I don't know. He was like, so what does this mean? I was like, I don't know, I'll probably gotta go to a clinic or something. Like, I'm gonna ask Tommy to take me to the clinic or something. And he's like, yeah, see if she could take care of it. And I was like, excuse you? Like, no. And you don't gotta be part of it. Like, no. I start to walk. He does the whole like rubbing his like down drift. Skillet is like, calm the down. So Skillet asks me if I want to go back to her aunt's house with her, and we could just like chill there, talk, and see like what we can do and stuff. And I'm like, yeah. So I message Tommy and I tell her that I really need to talk to her, it's really important. And she says, okay, that she'll call me tomorrow, that if I'm good, or do I need to get picked up, or like what's going on. Like, no, like I'm good, like I can wait till tomorrow, like it's fine. And she's like, okay, good, because like I'm all the way out, blah blah blah, I won't be able to get you. And I'm like, oh, okay. We walk outside and we're walking towards his car. I already knew like we shouldn't be walking towards his car, because he's gonna be like, oh, where do you guys think you guys are going? You know, like I already know what he's gonna say. I already know how he is. I already know it. And so I act like I'm walking past his car. Where are you going? And I was like, home. So I'm walking past the car, and he's like, oh, you're so dramatic. Just get in the car. I hate when they would be like, you're so dramatic. But it's like, you literally are doing it. Like, what are you talking about? So I get in the back with Skillet and he's like, where am I gonna drop you guys off at? Drop us off at my aunt's house. He drives to it and he is just like looking at me through like the rearview mirror. And you can just tell he's just like pissed with me. And I don't care. Because at this point, my mind is more on like, it's a positive. Like, I don't even like need you. Like, I don't need you. My mom did it without my biological. Like, it's good. If anything, it sucks, but you could be a sperm donor. Like, it's cool. It's cool. And then part of me was like hurt. Like, your dad was a piece of shit. You know, my dad is a piece of shit. Like, why would you do that? Like, I wasn't doing this by myself. Like, it's both of us. And, you know, I just felt like all these emotions. So I was just like shutting down, like just being quiet to myself because I just didn't want to have to like fake it or any of that. So he's trying to like play with me and he like tells me as he's driving, like, change your face. But like trying to have like a smirk while he says it. And I'm just like, he's like, you see, like, I try to joke with you. And Skillet tells him to shut up, that he is being mean, that he's just a fucking loser, that she doesn't know why he's with me. And she hopes that I'm not pregnant, that he's a fucking loser. Like, she's like really upset. And I'm like scared because I'm like, dude, he's driving. Like, what if he's like, fuck y'all, you know? But I think she was getting into like protective mode because even she was probably like, oh, shit. Like, Jade might be pregnant. Like, this is crazy. Like, she's gonna like have to grow up like quick. So we're both like on edge and kind of like giving him like a little bit of attitude, right? So we pull up to her aunt's spot. We get out of the car. I wasn't gonna even tell him bye. I was just like, you know, not even trying to like deal with him in that moment. So I totally forget about Mr. Peach. And I asked him if he has found Sam. He said yes, she's going to stay with the kids and he'll let me and my aunt visit, but that he needs me home tonight. And I was like, okay. So that worked out. And so I was happy about that because it felt like it took pressure off. And I was like, oh, okay, good. Like, maybe this is what like I needed right now, you know? He gets out of the car and inside I was like, who the f invited you? Like, what are you doing? Because that's what he did, right? So I was like, why can't we do it back? Why is it different when we do it back? Why can you dish it? Te sigues, pero no te aguantas, wait. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck? So I'm thinking it, but Skillet says it. You were thinking it, but yeah, you said it. And she's like, what are you doing? No one invited you inside. He's like, what? I gave you a ride and I can't even go inside? Like, who's inside or what? Like, what are you guys gonna do? She's like, don't worry about it. Don't worry about what we're gonna do inside. You can't come inside. So he tells me, if you go inside, we're over. If you go inside, we're over. And I was like, don't do that right now. Like, don't do that right now. What do you mean, don't do that right now? Like, what are you talking about? Like, don't talk to me like that. Like, what do you mean? So he's like getting upset because he feels stupid. He feels dumb. And I feel like Skillet could make him feel really, really stupid. And it really hurt his ego, especially when she would do it, because she just has like a sassier way about it where it does like make him feel stupid, you know, where it's like, so I'm like, don't do that. Tells me, oh my gosh. So Skillet tells me that she's going to let me talk to him while she goes and talks to her aunt, but he's not coming inside. She's like, I don't care. I don't care if you get mad at me. He's not coming inside. And I can't tell her like, no, he has to come inside. So I was like, okay. So she goes inside and he tells me to get back in the car. And I'm like, I'm not going to get back in the car. Like, I literally came over here with Skillet. And he's like, yeah, and who drove you? Super mad. And I tell him like, I'm not gonna do this. So I'm going to like walk away and just go and meet Skillet by the steps and just wait for her until she's like done talking to her aunt or whatever she needs to do. So I am going to like walk away from him. He pulls me like super hard. He's now like squeezing my kind of like shoulders, like squeezing me, and like, why do you act like this? Like, I can't stand it. Like, what the wrong with you? Like, he's so mad. And like, maybe like I did irritate him because like I didn't listen, but like that does not give him a valid reason to like touch me. Like, that was a huge no. Like, even if I wasn't like listening, like, what the is wrong with you? But he put his hands on me from the very beginning of our relationship, so he was so used to doing it. Like, even when we were in school, he was so comfortable with like throwing me around and like, he didn't have consequence when it came to me, so he was so comfortable. It wasn't like he was like, oh, who's gonna see, or oh this, oh that. He was so comfortable. So he's like getting really mad at me because he feels stupid, and I know that's what it is. I know it's because he feels stupid, but he just has this thing about him, and I just cannot. It makes me mad because I think about my Angelica and I'm like, I would be so pissed off if she thought like that was okay or like to stay. And you know, so anyways, he's like still doing that and I'm like, let go. Like, let go. Like, I'm not, let go. So I push him. he pushes me back harder, and we are kind of like pushing each other back and forth, but we're not like, you know, we're just pushing each other really, really hard. But of course he's stronger, so he is like pushing, but I can see that he's trying to push me because there's like steps, like two little steps, but he's like trying to push me, or like he wants me to like trip or fall or something like that, you know? And so I'm telling him, like, you know what you're doing. He's like, what am I doing? And what am I doing? So we're just, you know, going back and forth. And I just tell him, like, just to leave. Like, weren't you, like, you were just like at the mall with so-and-so, like, just leave. Like, for real, like, just leave. Like, what is it that you want? Just leave. You're such a fucking bitch. Like, I hate that you're such a bitch. I'm just like, okay. Like, I'm a bitch. Like, okay. He's like, what did you say? I'm like, I said okay. Like, okay, I'm a bitch. Like, what do you want me to do about that? Like, okay, I'm a bitch. And so then he's like, I bet you it's not even mine. Okay. So you're not gonna even deny it? Okay, okay. That's all that I can like think about like to say to him is like, okay, okay, okay. So he kept getting mad. He's like, okay, what? Say okay one more time. So who says okay? Joe. Like that. Like, this is my mouth. Like that. Say it again. And I was like, okay. And he did it again. I hate when he would like do that in particular because I always felt like a child being scolded. It irritated me so bad. I allowed him to do it and I didn't block it because in a way I was like, hopefully he just stops and he like just gets it over with, because like what if I hit him back and he hits me back harder, because it hurt. My lip like pinched like my tooth, and so like I could already taste the sangre. So like about like third, fourth time he did it already. He's like, you like that, huh? You like getting me there. And I'm like, okay. He's like, keep saying it, Alexis. Keep saying it. I was like, okay. And so he did it again. This time it was just like more fingertip than, you know, fingers. Comes out. And then Skillet comes out and she's like, what the f are you doing? So I don't know if she's seen or she like, you know, I don't know. I didn't know in that moment, like what all did she see? It's like, what do you want? Like, I'm trying to talk to my girl. She's like, I don't care if you're trying to talk to your girl. Like, what do you want? Like, why are you still here? He tells me to get in the car and I'm like, I'm not gonna get in the car. He's like, get in the car. I'm like, I'm not gonna get in the car. So he tries to like grab me all rough and I'm like, let go of me. Like, let go of me. Skillet, can we go in the house? And she's like, yeah, get in the house. So he leaves, like all pissed off. He's texting me that like I'm stupid, that why did I embarrass him like that? How did I embarrass you? Like, honestly, how did I embarrass you? Like it was so annoying because it really had me feeling and like double thinking, like, how did I embarrass him? Like, what did I do that was embarrassing? Because I said okay. Like, it really had me thinking really dumb at times because I really would second guess myself. And it was more like a brainwash thing where I was like, what? And then eventually I did start like believing it, where I was just like, oh, like I did irritate him. Like, it was my fault. And it wasn't even because it was like, oh, like I'm just gonna agree just to like keep the peace. No, I literally started believing that like I did something wrong to irritate him, because like, why would he just be popping off for like no reason? Like, I must be doing something that's like that irritating. No, but it's like being with somebody and them constantly telling you like you're doing wrong, you're doing wrong, you're doing wrong, you eventually start believing like, oh, I must be doing something wrong then, because like they don't want to hit me, they don't want to this, they don't want to do that. And that's like honestly all part of like the brain washing, because like once I did wake up and I did tell him like, oh, I'm not a pendeja anymore, like you had me así, blah, blah, blah. I know, and I had it so good, and like I'm so sorry, and you know, but all too late. And it's like, and for what? Like why? Like, I don't understand. Like, y'all, when I tell you like how obsessed I was with him, I'm just like, it trips me out. Like, it literally really like trips me out, like for real. So me and Skillet go inside, we go downstairs. Some of her family members are getting high down there, and they're pretty much like asking me like, are you gonna snitch, and kind of like grilling me. And she's like, no, she's not, her mom's a crackhead. And I'm like, bitch, you don't need to say all that. Like, you could just be like, no. So then they're like, your mom's a crackhead, what's your mom's name? And I start telling them. They're like, oh yeah, I think I know her. They start sharing stories, and they share a story in particular about my mom. And I'm like, oh, okay, noted. I'm gonna bring that up later on. So I'm kind of like distracted a little bit. She asks me like, what's my plan? What am I gonna do? And I tell her like, dude, like I don't know. Like, I'm like super duper scared. Like, I'm worried. I don't know what I'm like going to do. Like, honestly, like Like, look at our lives, dude. Like, look at our lives. She's like, I know. I wouldn't even say, like, to keep it. Like, if you don't want to do, you know, that, then you have options. And we were just going over, like, a bunch of things. Like, oh, you can do this, you can do that. One of her cousins gets into the conversation and is very against abortion. And to each their own. I am nobody to judge about anybody. I don't judge anybody for anything that they do, because you do whatever you think is right for you, and I am not walking in your shoes. It's easier said than done. I feel like to give your opinion on someone's life, unless you are directly helping that person, I feel like you do not have a say in what they do with their body. That's just my opinion, and we'll leave it there. Please keep it very respectful in the comments about this certain topic. So her cousin is telling me that she's really against it, that like, is that what I'm thinking? And I was like, no. He wants me to, but no. And she's like, good, because guys are stupid. And she starts going off like on a whole like thing, and I'm like, okay. Like, just listening to her talk about it, I'm like, yeah, like, that's not even something that like I want to do, because at the end of the day, like, I know what I'm doing. She tells us that there's a clinic that we can go that's like free, and where I'm a teen, they won't ask too many questions and stuff like that. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. Like, that's even better, because my mom is still like locked up. I don't know how things work. Like, do I have to have my guardian? Like, I'm telling you, I had no business out here freaking doing adult stuff, because I'm over here like, oh, can I take my mommy with me? You know, sort of thing. So I'm like, okay, cool. I'm gonna go to that clinic. Awesome. Okay. Love that. Time passes, and the ex texts me. He asks me if we could talk, that he's just been around the neighborhood and he feels like an asshole, that he shouldn't have done that, and that he's sorry. Babe, please, babe, please. Can we just talk? He just wants to talk about it, about what I want to do, and that he'll support me in whatever I want to do, but that he wants to be able to talk to me about it, because he feels like he still has a lot to live and a lot to do. So yeah, I'm like, oh, like, yeah, okay. Skillet asks me what I'm gonna do, and I tell her that like he's gonna pick me back up and he's gonna give me a ride home. She's like, okay, cool, like, tell me. And it was like perfect timing, because her family is getting kind of rowdy, because something was like missing, and they were like blaming each other. Of like, no, like, you took an extra this, you took an extra that. And so it was already, it's time to go. It was time to go. So it was like perfect timing. So he picks me back up, and he has like a Sprite, and he's telling me like, oh, I got you your favorite. Sprite is not my favorite. If any fam bam knows, that would be really cool, but that is not my favorite. So I'm like, oh yeah, thanks. And in my head, I'm like, yep, it was probably the other bitch's favorite. Not my favorite. Pendejo stupido. Not my favorite. So I'm already getting like butthurt over that. He starts telling me, you're very young. We're very young. You couldn't take care of a kid right now. Gives me like a whole speech. I respect whatever decision you want to do, but like, I really hope that you think it through, because at the end of the day, it's the woman's decision. And even though that's not fair, because you guys can just like go and take care of it, but we have to, you know, pay regardless and be stuck with the consequences. That they're crying, they're playing. And I'm like telling him like, if I am, you don't have to help me at all. Yeah, yes I do, because I'm gonna feel responsible, but I need you to understand that you're not the only one, and I have a lot of responsibility. I need to help my mom. And I'm like, I don't give a fuck about your mom, because why would I care about your mom? So I say that, and he just like looks at me. You could tell like he was like super infuriated, because that's his mommy. He's like, well, I give a fuck about my mom, and that's my mom, and I gotta make sure that my mom. And I'm like, okay, well, I gotta make sure that I'm good. So we're kind of like going back and forth. I see that we're getting close to this certain area that like stuff happens at, and he just like looks at me and smiles, and I'm like, no, like, I'm not even like, no. And he's like, why not? It's even the best time right now, especially because if you are knocked up, you won't get knocked up. And I'm like, no, like, I don't want to. So I'm like getting like upset. He's upset that I'm upset, because he's just like, why not? Like, why not? Like, I don't understand, especially if you are maybe expecting. And I was like, okay, that's maybe. And what if I'm not? He'll make sure he pulls out. And I'm just like, what's wrong with you? Especially because he's over here giving me this whole speech of like, I want to make sure that I live my life, blah, 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 to the fullest. And then in the same breath, like, oh, can we have a quickie real quick before I take you home? Because I just need to have a quickie. So we go back and forth, go back and forth, go back and forth, pull over. And this whole time I'm just like pissed off. He's telling me like, oh, thank you so much. And I'm just so like, why? Like, it's so annoying. And for those who are like, I wouldn't have let him, I can't believe we still let him. It's so hard. Like, it's like you just go numb. Like, you honestly just like go numb and you just go into like a whole different place in your brain. Well, at least little Lex did. So after that, he like tells me, so what are you gonna do? What's gonna happen? Like, we're young, we still have a lot. We can have kids later. I'll give you all the kids you want. And I tell him that like I'm still gonna go to the doctor. Like, I still need to go see. Like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know. Like, stop. Like, I don't know. So we're getting closer to the Peaches house, and he was like, well, like, I deserve to know. Like, I want to know. I was like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. And he's like just looking at me, and I see him like kind of looking at my lip, and I'm like, what? And then I'm like having like the flashback of like the whole, and I'm like, you see? And then like, oh, so like I'm getting mad because I'm just like, oh, I totally forgot about that. I hate you like so much. Like, I can't stand you. So we pull up, and then I'm gonna get out. He's like, did you forget something? I'm like, what are you talking about? Again, the whole like, did you forget something? That was this thing. Like, did you forget something? I was like, what? I was like, I don't got time for that. Like, what? And he's like, never mind. He writes me a whole paragraph of like, why you embarrass me like that? Why do you talk to me like that? I'm over here trying to be cute with you, and you want to be a dickhead to me. Why do you talk to me like that? I hate you. And I'm like, okay. He's like, oh, we're gonna do okay again? Do you not remember what happened? And so I'm just whatever. I go inside, I see one of the littles, and I see Munchkin, and I'm like, where's Sam? And they're like, she's in the restroom. I'm like, okay. So I go into the kitchen, clean up a little bit. I'm like getting things done. Tell Mr. Peach I'm home. He says K, and I'm just cleaning up, and I'm like, when the hell is Sam gonna come down? I'm like, what the heck? Like, it's been a minute. And so I go and check the restrooms. Sam's not in the house, like, at all. So I call Mr. Peach, and I tell him, like, are you sure Sam was home when you left? And he was like, sí, ¿por qué? And I was like, because she's not here. And so part of me was pissed off because I was like, did this mother leave? And he left the kids home? Like, did he leave? So I have like an attitude with him. He's like, no me hablas así. That like he wouldn't leave the kids, and that I better be joking, and that I better find Sam. I was like, what do you mean I better find Sam? But it's because he was all upset, you know. So it's like one of those things like when your parents are like, you better pull something out of your ass, you know, and you're just like, what? Like, what does that mean? So I'm like, no, like, I'm serious. Like, she's not here. Hold on, y'all. I packed my makeup, and I guess I just want to use those colors. So he tells me to help him find Sam, and that he'll call me in a minute. So I start questioning the kids. I'm like questioning them, because I was like, is he lying to me? Because I would raise hell if he left my babies by themselves. So I'm like asking them, and they're like, Alexis, no, she was here. Like, all annoyed with me. And I'm like, okay, like, are you sure? And I'm like, you won't get in trouble. I won't tell like your dad. And they're like, yes, like she was here. I'm like, okay. So I messaged Sam, and I'm like, hey, like, where are you? Like, why the would you leave them alone? Like, what the is wrong with you? So I start going off on her and just typing away, you know, like, because what the hell is wrong with you? So time passes. I'm taking care of the kids. Mr. Peach comes home. He's like, ¿Dónde está Sam? I was like, I don't know. He's like, ¿Cómo que? You don't know. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know where she's at. He like honestly thinks I'm joking. He goes upstairs, doesn't see Sam, and he's like, Alexis, where's Sam? I'm like, I don't know. The kids tell him that she was in the restroom. She never came back out. So homegirl jumped out the window. He's like, no, like, I don't believe that. Like, I don't believe that. Like, I don't believe she'd leave the kids. And I'm like, well, believe it. Like, she's not here. He's like tripping out, like in disbelief. So he's calling her, leaving her some nasty ass voicemails, like super nasty. She don't come. Laid the kids down, and I sit on the couch. Me and him are talking. He's telling me that he doesn't know what to do with Mrs. Peach. And I'm like, yo no sé. I say, ay, ¿por qué haces eso? Like, why am I shutting him up pretty much? And I'm like, I don't want to talk about it. No quiero hacer eso. Like, I don't want to talk about it. So we hear the doorknob like jiggle, and someone's trying to get in. And I'm like, no way. It's stupid ass Sam. So I go and I open the door, and it's Sam. She is super peda, drunk. stupid drunk. Coming through the door, hickeys all over her neck. Okay, like it is just like a necklace. He gave her a necklace of hickeys. This girl's helping her come in, and she's like, oh, perdóname, like, oh, like, sorry, like, we were at a 15 and da 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 da, like, and Mr. Peach is just like, can't even like get words out. He is just like, I look at him and he's like to like get up to go help her, and I'm like, what the f? Okay, so I get up, get Sam sitting on the couch, and she is just like, the smell of her sweat is like liquor. It's like honestly disgusting. And I sit her on the couch, and she kind of has like giggles going on. And I'm just like, Richard, do not giggle. Do not giggle. The girl's like, okay, bye. Sam's laughing, going like this. Okay. The door closes. I go to get like a rag so I can clean up Sam, because Sam like has like, it looks like fresh throw up on her face. And all I hear is that hard, and then another one, and he's like just being nasty with her. I immediately start like getting like hyperventilating. I hate that. I even get like that now, where it's like if a loud noise or something like that, I get like super triggered. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't, and I get so mad because I'm like, how can I control this? Like, how can I control this? Because I get very like, I don't know, y'all. Like, I start hyperventilating. Like, it gets super bad where, like, I get so mad at myself where I'm just like, stop. It's okay. It's okay. But I get, like, and I just, like, get paranoid. And I start to cry. And so I go over there and I was like, don't hit her. He gets mad at me and tells me not to tell him what to do, that is his fucking daughter. I was like, me vale verga. Like, I don't give a fuck. Don't hit her in front of me. Don't be hitting her, like, in front of me. Like, her face is red. And he's like, quítate. And, like, moves me. It's a whole thing. We're like yelling and stuff like that. He continues to like try and hit her. Like, he's like moving her up and like trying to hit her. And I'm telling him like she's like drunk. Like, that's not fair. Like, she's not like, you know, she can't defend herself fully. And he was like, mira esta pinche puta. Like, she was a fucking, you know, like a slut, whatever. And he is like infuriated that she came home like this. And so I sit like pretty much like on her lap, and I was like, ja, like trying to catch my breath, crying. It was super dramatic, but I was super triggered. Like, it literally like freaked me out that he was losing his shit like that, because she just seemed kind of like super drugged, like, ooh, like loopy. Like, she was just taking the hits, and it was just honestly like, wow. Like, hit her and she was like, ooh. Ugh. Like, she was making the noises like that. It went from ay apa to like ugh. And it literally sounded so scary, y'all. We have a visitor. We're leaving in 30 minutes. Okay, Dad's up?
Yeah.
Okay. Go wake up your siblings, pa. Yeah, I'm just gonna finish and then we'll go.
What's that?
You tell me. So I'm like sitting on her lap. He's like screaming at me. I'm like panicking because I'm like, what the heck is going on? Like, what the heck is going on? I'm like freaking out because I feel like he's like getting super like enraged, and he's telling me like to calm down, to relax, that like I'm hyperventilating and like what's going on with me. And then Sam goes, it's because she's pregnant. So he starts going in on me. ¿Qué? You're pregnant? Tú también eres puta. Like, I'm whore. And I'm just like, shut up. Like, I'm not your responsibility. Like, you guys have made that clear. Like, you won't have to worry about me, blah blah blah. And he's like, and whose is it? I bet you don't even know whose it is. And she is now like almost snoring, and I'm just like crying. He's like telling me all these like degrading things about me, and about like, oh my god, like I knew it that like I was getting my panzona, like I was getting bigger and stuff like that, and like he is just so like disappointed that he could have expected like her but not me. And I was like, again, he was like, Sam, like who else would I be talking about? She goes, that's up. like and it's like, girl, come on now. Like, me and you both, like, we on the same boat. So eventually he like finally gets out of my face. I literally feel like I have spit on my face of like him just like yelling at me, like super enraged, super disappointed. I go upstairs, I take a shower, I lay freaking Sam to bed. She's like puking. Like, I had to lay her like on her side because I feel like she was gonna throw up and like choke on it. Mr. Peach didn't give a f. Like, he didn't come check on her. And I was thinking like, what if like she is like, I pass out and she like just chokes on her own vomit. Like it was so scary how much she was vomiting. And come to find out, she had alcohol poisoning. So it was like super bad. Took my shower, and I'm just getting messages from the ex saying that to really think about it, that pretty much that not to ruin his life. And I'm like, you literally are saying all this, but you literally just to me before you drop me off. Like, are you kidding me? Like, obviously you don't give a like, you're just a very selfish person. And then he was like, and what does that make you? I was like, it makes me dumb. Like, it makes me fucking stupid. It makes me dumb. So go to sleep, wake up. The room smells disgusting. Sam is super sick. We have to end up taking her to the emergency room. She won't stop throwing up. Like, she is super intoxicated still, and she just keeps saying her head is spinning, and she does not feel well. She doesn't feel well at all. So it's me, Mr. Peach. Mrs. Peach came home to like stay home with the kids. Mr. Peach wanted me to go, and I think it's because he wanted me to get checked. But it's me, Mr. Peach, and then Baltimore ends up showing up, and we're all in the room. Sam is like not feeling well at all. She's like vomiting. They're saying she's extremely dehydrated, that she probably got alcohol poisoning. Sam is not giving us any information of like who she was with, like at all. Mr. Peach asks me like, who do you think she was with? And I tell him that she was probably with Joe. And he tells me that like, if I know that for sure. I'm like, no, I don't. Like, I don't know that for sure, but she was with him the other night. And then he was like, no me dices mentiras, to not be telling him lies. And I'm like, they were together. And he's like, yeah. And he asked Sam, and Sam's like, no, like I wasn't with Joe, I was with Nacho. And he's like, no tienes vergüenza, like you're not embarrassed. So she went out and she hung out with Nacho. Come to find out, there was a party. Nacho was there. Mr. Peach calls Nacho's dad. Nacho's dad is furious because Nacho is gone. No one knows where Nacho's at. So he's pissed off. Mr. Peach is pretty much like, you're gonna be paying these hospital bills and da-da-da-da. Like, it's a whole thing. And it's just like, it's a whole thing. So she was with Nacho. Baltimore is like, and why the f are you here? Over here starting shit saying that she was with Joe and she was with Nacho. How do you know she was with Nacho? And then Mr. Peach has to yell at her, like, she literally just said she was with Nacho. Like, if you're gonna be here to be helpful, then be helpful. But if you're gonna be here just to start a fight, then leave. She's pregnant and she doesn't need that stress. And I'm gonna leave it there. I love you guys so much. We have to go already. It's time. We're gonna have to leave. I love you guys so freaking much. I will be recording when I'm in Texas. Let me know if you guys would like to see those vlogs. I love you guys. Besos a todos. And thank you guys so much for all your love and support. I love you guys so much. You guys mean everything to me. I love you. Hey y'all, so we are in Texas. It just seems so crazy that we're in Texas. I'm kind of whispering because like everyone's still kind of like asleep, and I wanted to get in here and record and not do it during the day while I'm like supposed to be visiting and stuff like that. Look how crispy clean. I'm like so nervous this time around visiting. I'm not sure why. I think because like before I feel like I had to be a little bit more defensive, and this time I feel like I'm more vocal. I don't know, it's a different experience this time around. But anyways, I wanted to add on to the story time so that you guys didn't get like only like an hour of content. You guys got maybe another hour for hitting our 100th story time. Crazy. Sorry that I don't have like the like lighting perfect and stuff like that. Literally I'm just using the camera, have it propped up on a box. Also, I found more photos here. My sister was showing me her photo album. She was like, look Lex, and tell me why I have never seen some of these photos. I was like, oh my gosh, it was so freaking cool. Okay, anyways, let's get back to the story time. He's thinking that him telling her that she's going to lay off, no, she gets freaking infuriated. She starts calling me every name in the book, and I'm just sitting there like pretty much just taking it because I don't know what else to say. I feel like I have no right to say anything or defend myself, because in that moment I felt like, yeah, everything that's being said is valid. I'm like, okay. She keeps going, and I finally hit like my limit of like insults, and I said, por favor no me dices nada, especially when this and I start talking about like all the drama, and she says that the difference between me and her is that she's an adult, I'm a child, that it doesn't matter even if she does wrong, that the situation is different and I could never understand it. And I'm just like, I don't care, leave me alone about it, leave me alone about it. And so she starts screaming like, and you expect us to take care of it? And I was like, I never asked anything from you. I did not say for you. I'm not gonna even work with you guys anymore. Like, I'm just here just for Sam, just for Sam. And she starts laughing like, oh, because like I was getting loud, agitated about the situation. She took it as like, oh, estás cabrona, estás cabrona. Where we're like talking back and forth to each other, eventually we get interrupted by the doctor that's seeing Sam. So me and her have to step out of the room, and I just stay quiet, and she keeps trying to like go at me with like her little comments, and I'm just like, okay, no, Alexis, okay. And I was like, well, what else do you want me to say? And she's like, what could you say? What could you say? Mírate, mírate. Like, what could I say? Look at me, look at me. I'm just like looking at myself. I'm like, okay. I was like, mírame and mírate. Like, look at me and look at you. And she said that she is an adult, that she doesn't depend on anybody, that I depend on them, that she's not going to allow me to mooch off this family. And I have to like interrupt her, and I tell her, hey, don't worry about it, don't worry about it, I'm not gonna be here no more, don't worry about it. And she's like, hi, like, just to shut up. And I'm like, okay, can you leave me alone, can you leave me alone, can you leave me alone? So I just keep saying it over and over and over, and I get the attention of one of the nurses walking by, and she asks me, are you okay, sweetie? Do I need to call somebody? Because obviously this girl's harassing me, right? And I just tell her, is there anywhere else I can sit? I don't feel safe right here. That sets Baltimore off. You don't feel safe? You don't feel safe? She's like, no, she's fine, to the nurse. The nurse doesn't even look at her, doesn't pay no mind to her. She just like zoned in on me. And she tells me like, yeah, sure, let's go over here. Takes me to like another waiting room. And I text Mr. Peach that I'm gonna be in a separate waiting room, that Baltimore is just stressing me out too much and I just can't. I get that I, made a mistake, I messed up, but I don't want to hear her right now. He just says, okay. So I go to that separate like a waiting area, and the nurse is just super nice. Ask me if I need anything. I tell her no, that I'm fine, that I just wanted to get away from my aunt. Yeah, that's fine, that's fine. So I just stay there, and the whole time I'm like dreading, because I'm like, okay, she's gonna come back over here because she's pissed, she's furious, especially because she told me not to leave and I still left. So we stay there for quite some time, and eventually Mr. Peach comes back out and he tells us that they're gonna need to keep Sam here to run some other tests, that she's fine. So I'm like, dang, this is pretty serious, like this is pretty freaking scary. So my face is just showing it. He looks at me, he tells me just to relax, that she's fine, that this is why we shouldn't drink at such a young age, because of our bodies, and gives me a whole like spiel about it. And I'm like, like in my head I'm like, yes, like I know, like we're not supposed to, yes I know, but I just didn't want to get like a whole like speech. So my face, I guess you could tell, I was like, and so it sets off Baltimore. She's like, don't even waste your breath. You see how she's acting? She's over here thinking that she's in the right even when you're talking to her. And I just like look at her, I'm like I roll my eyes, and not because like, oh, now I think like I'm untouchable, because I'm just freaking over her freaking attitude, her face, everything. And so she tells me that she doesn't give a if I'm pregnant or not, that she will give me a putazo. And I'm just like, okay, Baltimore. Like, I just keep saying, okay. And so she asks me, like, where did I pick this up at? Just saying, okay. That it's so disrespectfful, especially when she's talking to me. Como que, okay. And he has to, like, get in between us, and he tells her, like, yeah, déjala, like, déjala. Like, just leave me alone. That it's too much. That even she's stressing him out. That, like, ja. So she gets upset, and she looks kind of, like, ass hurt that he even told her anything. And so she's like, I just leave then. I'll just leave. Mejor me voy. I don't know if she thought he was going to chase her or what, but she started walking fast, and then she kind of did that, and she kind of like started moving a little bit slower. No one's going to follow you, okay? Just hurry up and get out of the way. On our way home, he was asking me so many questions about Nacho and Sam. I tried to give him as many answers as I possibly could, and he just kept trying to tell me like, I just don't get it. I don't understand. She has everything. Right, Alexis, right? And I said, well, not everything. And he's like, what does that mean? What does that mean? I was trying to be funny. And I was like, she doesn't have role models. And he's like, just like looking at me. They're like, why do I think that we are the same, that the adults and children are not the same. And I was like, oh no, it's just a joke. You think this is the time to be joking? No. It's telling me that we were gonna go over and see not just dad, and he was going to make it clear that there could be no more. We're gonna go over to the Bubbles, and the same thing. I tell him it doesn't matter, that they're going to see each other whether he likes it or not. He tells me, nope, not under his house. Nope, nope, nope. Aki is so mad, and I know it was pretty irritating me going, no, I don't think so. No, she's still, no, because he just kept like looking back at me, and he's like, I'm telling you, okay, no more. They are not going to no more. And I was like, well, I think she'll still talk to him. He's like, Alexis, I said no more. And I'm like, okay, I know you say it, but it doesn't mean it's going to happen. Like, she left the house even when you told her not to. And he was getting so mad. And so he was like, you know what? Just stop talking. Just stop talking. And I was like, we go back to the house, and Mrs. Peach is like right by the door. And instantly I was like, yeah, she's trying to leave. She is trying to leave. She asks him, is everything okay? And as he's answering her, she has like a bag on her shoulder. And he's like, ¿Dónde vas? Like, where are you going? And she's like, I just need to go, and I need to clear my head. And he's like, no, like we need to talk. She says it's too much, that she doesn't want to be stressing, and that Sam is constantly doing something, and she needs to think about her health right now. I walk away, grab the kids, because this is a conversation we do not need to be hearing. He starts like screaming at her, telling her that she's selfish, everything that he has done, not just for her but family. How could she do this right now? He doesn't know what to do anymore, and she's playing too many games. So I take the kids upstairs, and me and the kids are just trying to put on something to watch, be distracted at the same time. They asked me if their mom is leaving, and I said maybe she needs to go run some errands, and all we just hear is like screaming. She's like yelling, let me go, let me go, because like he's like holding on to her. It's super loud and super dramatic. I feel like she was screaming louder than usual to just maybe get him to like let go faster, or maybe because she was just like fed up as well. She was just like done. But he didn't like that she was putting the blame on Sam. He was like, leave because you want to, not because of Sam and her stuff, and that they've been through like more like worse and stuff like that, that kids will be kids. And she's like, no, this one, no, that she was difficult, and she was already making her comments about the baby. She didn't want to hear it, she didn't want to stress about it, that she wants to be happy, be stress free with this pregnancy. He's telling her that it will be, that he'll talk to her, and she pretty much says like, it doesn't matter how much you talk to her, it doesn't matter, it does not matter, that she doesn't care, and she wants to feel comfortable in her house, and she can't feel comfortable in this house with Sam. And so he tells her, so then what do you want me to do? She says, send her back, and he tells her like, I'm not gonna do that, I'm not gonna do that, she needs me. You don't even want her, you just have too much pride to not give her back and say that you failed. So it was pretty intense conversation, pretty intense, where I think he knew that the door was open because he screams for me to shut the door. So I shut the door, and I can't really hear much after that. I know that she finally leaves because the door slams, and he says, then leave, and makes comments of how could you, that she was a disgrace of a woman, and on and on and on and on and on. So it was a huge blowout. I immediately knew, okay, he's gonna have to go drink a little bit, drink away his feelings. It's gonna be a whole thing, because that's just what it is. But I'm like, maybe I'll be different because Sam is in the hospital. Maybe, just maybe, her being in the hospital, he'll be like, oh, it's, you know, she needs me, maybe I'm on call, who knows. So he eventually comes upstairs, and he tells me that he is going to be gone for a few hours, not to ask him any questions. And I'm just like, okay. He's like, you know what, since you learned that new word, perfect. I know I irritated the out of him, but I was like, okay. I don't know what else to say. He leaves for a few hours and I'm just sitting there wondering like what I'm going to do. I'm scared and I'm just thinking of the what if this, what if that. I'm getting messages from the ex telling me to really think about it because this is really not just going to affect me, but it's going to affect him. At that point, I'm like annoyed with myself because look who I chose. Look who I allowed to share my body with. And look at the consequences. And at the same time, I'm thinking like, I don't even know if this is a for sure thing. But seeing that positive on the pregnancy test, I'm like, yeah, this is pretty much a for sure thing. I just want to marinate in my denial a little bit longer because living in La La Land is a lot better than living in reality at times. So as I'm taking care of the kids, I get a call and it's from Tommy. She already knows what I want to talk about. She goes, how far along? I don't know. Like, I don't even try to be like, oh, how do you know? Even though deep down inside I didn't want to. I wanted to ask her, how did you know? How did you know? You pinche bruja? What? Like, is it just that obvious that like I was just going to? Yeah, it was, Jade. But I just kind of wanted to hold on to that, like, no. Just that, you know, just a little sliver of no, I'm gonna prove everyone wrong. But to be honest and to be truthful, I already knew from the very beginning I was always going to be a teen mom. I knew I was always going to have a lot of kids. I just knew it. I always felt older than what I was, and I just kind of just felt like it's just going to happen. Should I have prevented it? Yes, 100%. Would have it been better if I would have waited? Yes. But deep down I always just knew that I was just going to do everything a little bit quicker, and I was okay with it. Even though it scared me, I always just was like, you know what, I got this. Like, I got this. Like, it's going to be okay. I got this. I got this. And I'm going to have a little human who loves me. If you are a teen watching this, please do not think like that. Wait. I promise you, if you wait, things will be better and it won't be hard and you won't have to struggle. So I think part of me knew that I was and it was okay, but part of me was freaking out because it's like, oh, this is real. This is really happening. Guys, it's freaking hot, like super hot. I don't know how my mom and my grandma do it. My grandma likes being out here because both her legs are broken. And Utah weather was always harder on her bones, but it's too hot. Like, it's hot. My brother told me I should have came and visited during the winter. I would have loved the weather out here during the winter. But anyway, so she's telling me that she can schedule an appointment, but it's not going to be until like a week out. And I'm like, what? And she goes, yes, like, this is not an emergency. Like, how do you think it works? You can't just, you know, walk into a clinic. And I'm like, I literally have. She says, well, not this one. You can't just like walk in there. And what was I gonna do? And she starts giving me options of what I can do. I can do adoption. I'm like, nope, can't do that. She tells me that I can do abortion. I'm like, no, I can't do that. She's like, well, what do you think? And I'm like, you haven't told me that like that I'm going to struggle. And she's like, I don't think it's a good idea, Alexis. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't think it's a good idea. And I'm not gonna say I'm gonna be there to help you. You won't have help. And I'm like, okay, like I think I can do it. No, I need you to really, really think about it. So me and her were going back and forth because I was getting a little agitated, even though it sounds dumb, you know, like, oh yeah, we're gonna do this, we got this. I wanted to hear that. I wanted to hear that somebody was okay with me keeping my baby, if I did have one, and not want to just get rid of it, you know? Like, I had the ex saying it, had her saying it. Like, I just wanted someone to be like, yes, we'll figure it out. It's going to be okay. It's going to be all right. I wanted someone to say that because I wanted to feel like, okay, it's going to be okay. But in reality, all you have is yourself. So only what you think matters, you know? I was like, it's gonna be okay. Like, it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. Think up with her and I'm like, okay, this whole week I'm going to be stressing of the coulda, shoulda, woulda, all of it. Like, what the so I text the ex that I have an appointment and I am going to see about the baby in a couple of days. And instead of him being like, okay, well, like, what are your options? What have you thought about? You're gonna get rid of it, right? Like, he was just so like, you're gonna get rid of it, right? I just stopped messaging him because I just didn't want my decision to be influenced by him, because I was so madly in love with him that I feel like if I would have allowed him to get in my head a little bit too much about the situation, I would have followed what he said to keep him. Because he even started saying that if I do keep it, I'm on my own. I'm gonna figure it out on my own. He's going to hate me. And part of me was like, oh my god, I don't want him to hate me. I don't want him to hate me. Like, oh my god, Alexis, you really gotta think about it. Like, I was really thinking like that. But that was only if I allowed him to stay on the phone a little bit too long with me. But as soon as I hung up the phone, I was like, I'm fine. I don't need him. Do I love him? Yes. Is it gonna hurt? Yes. But I'll be okay. I will be okay. I just kept telling myself over and over and over, like, it's gonna be okay. My mom did it. I can do it. It's gonna be fine. My mom didn't need help from anybody. My mom did it. Like, it's fine. It's fine. My mom wasn't a teen parent, but she had me really young. And I had colic 24/7. My mom would always tell me that I was such a colicky baby. Colic 24/7. So I was thinking about all these things. Like, okay, if I have colic, maybe the baby's gonna have colic. It's going to be hard, but like, you know what you were doing, Lex. You know what you were doing. Every time that you laid down, you knew what you were doing. It wasn't fair, in my opinion, to do that. I respect anyone's decision and choices. If that's what, you know, you have to do what you have to do. Because at the end of the day, I'm not paying your bills. I'm not gonna be there to help you financially for your child. So I have no say in your decisions at all. It's always easier said to done to comment on someone's life, but unless you are in their shoes, their situation, I feel like you can't comment at all. Everyone has their own path and everyone has their own reasons. It's easier to judge than it is to understand, you know? The kids start to ask about Sam, if she's okay. I tell them yes, and I noticed that they are going to the room, but they are going through Sam's drawer, and they just keep like getting her like snacks and stuff. I tell them like, hey, once, twice, okay, but yeah, no, she's gonna get mad. No, she's not gonna get mad. I'm like, what do you mean she's not gonna get mad? Yes, she is. Because I'm like thinking like, oh, they probably think that she's gonna be gone for a while, that she's not gonna care. They're like, no, she said we can have all of it if we don't tell dad. Munchkin hits the other one, and I'm like, about what? But deep down, I already knew. She promised them the whole drawer of candy if they said that she was in the restroom. So I'm like, okay, so how long were you guys alone? I don't know, of course. I messaged Mr. Peach, let him know what they said. He says that he doesn't want to believe it, that he can't believe that she would do something like this, that this is why she's being punished. And I'm like, no, I don't think. Yes, that's why. And I'm like, no creo, pero okay. Like, I'm just like, dude, no. But all right, whatever you have to say to yourself. So he's super annoyed that the kid's covered. Comes home a little bit later and he wants to like yell at them that this was something serious, that how come they didn't say anything. They keep saying, I wanted the candy. He's like, for candy, all mad. They get in trouble. I feel like poop because I ratted them out pretty much, and they get their electronics taken away. And I get in trouble too because I have to sit there and come up with these games and entertain them because they don't have their freaking devices. He asks me to get some clothes for Sam so that she can change. I go in there and I'm getting some clothes. I see some parts of my diary that she had ripped up. Remember I told you guys a while back that some pages were missing? Well, I found them. So I was super happy about that. Found them. I was a little bit more happier walking back downstairs to give him the stuff. He asks me like, what? Why are you smiling? Especially with situations that you never smile again. And I'm like, okay. No, me, this is okay. And I'm like, no, sé qué decir. Like, I don't know what to say. And he just tells me nothing. That to not say anything at all. Anything. I'm like, okay. And he tells me that the only reason why I didn't get checked at the doctor's was because when he asked the nurse said that it wasn't an emergency to take a pregnancy test unless I felt like something was wrong and I needed to have my parent, because he said he wasn't my parent. Which I'm so glad, because you know how embarrassing that would have been having to explain that. So anyways, he leaves and he doesn't come back until like freaking late night, and I'm like irritated because I didn't have anywhere to go, but I still wanted to like be in my own thoughts. Have you ever just wanted to be in your own thoughts and hear your own self speak? I feel like when you have a lot going on, there's times where I need things to be quiet so I can think. Like, even if it's like, oh, I'm not doing something like major, I like it to be quiet so that I can like think and create scenarios in my head and all kinds. Like, I need that time to actually focus. So he comes home late, tells me that he needs to talk to me. I'm like, okay. So me and him are sitting at the table he's asking me that, what is my plans? I'm telling him about what? He's like, what for what, Alexis? Like, I don't have the time for stupid games. What are your plans? And I'm like, oh, about, and he's like, yes. I'm like, I'm going to keep it. I'm going to get a job. He's like, how are you going to get a job? You're not even old enough to get a job. I was like, I don't know, but I'm going to figure it out. Like, I didn't want to talk to him about it. I didn't want to sit here and come up with a plan with him. I didn't want to anything. He tells me that he can take me to get the procedure, but that it has to be something I want. And I'm like, I don't. You need to think about it. Don't be a stupid kid. This is going to change your life. It will ruin it. You won't be able to do anything. And I'm like, I don't do anything now. No, you need to think about it. And so we were going back and forth about it. Like, he wanted me to leave the table saying that I would, and I didn't. I was like, no, I'm not going to agree just because you want me to agree with it. I felt like it was wrong if I were to agree with him on it, because it would forever be held over my head. Like, it just would. And I keep telling him, nope, think about it, don't just say no right away. I'm like, well, I already know what I want, and no, like, I'm not going to. No. You're so dumb. You see, even with your responses, this lets me know you're not ready. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm ready. No, you're not. No, you're not. Like, he was so upset, and I could totally understand. And he's about to lose his nanny, and he makes it known that I'm not going to be staying with them if I am pregnant. I'm like, I know, I'm not going to be here for long. Oh, you just know everything, huh? You just know everything. And I'm like, no, but I figured that I wasn't going to. Oh yeah, ¿por qué? And I was like, because of how Baltimore is and the stress. Like, oh my god, now you just sound like Mrs. Peach, because I said the stress of, you know, putting stress on me. And I kind of just like laughed because it was just like a funny moment. You see, and you think it's funny, you think it's time to be laughing about these stupid things. I would be embarrassed. I wouldn't even show my face. So I just stayed quiet. I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what to do. So I just stayed quiet. And he tells me that just because he says something doesn't mean that I need to shut up or anything, that he can make comments. And I just start crying because I'm like, I'm just so confused. Like, I don't know what to say. Like, you're stressing me out. He tells me just to relax, not to be dramatic, that he's just talking to me. And so I calm down a little bit, and he tells me, so what are you going to do? And I tell him I'm going to keep it. I know. And I was like, then why do you ask me if I can't give you my answer? And he says, just because it's my answer, it's a stupid answer. And I'm like, okay, well, I don't know what to tell you. I'm not going to change my answer so that you don't think it's a stupid answer. Was it dumb that I did this? Yes, but I'm not going to run away from it. Oh, Alexis, you think that you're being a hero doing something, but you are just so stupid. And I'm just like, okay, I'm stupid. Leave me alone. I'm dumb. Just leave me alone. Like, I don't know what else he wants from me. But I think he just wanted to just keep telling me over and over how dumb I was. But I was like, okay, I get it. No, I don't think you get it. I'm like, yeah, I do. Like, you think I'm stupid. I get it. No, I don't think you do. I can't go back in time. I don't know what you want me to do. And he says, I can go back in time by fixing the problem. I was like, well, I'm not gonna. Newsflash, I'm not gonna. So he keeps trying to have a conversation, and I have to keep telling him, like, I don't want to talk about this with you. Like, I feel uncomfortable, because he was asking me, like, how, like, when. And I just told him, like, when I was at a party. How? Like, no, it's like, how? And I'm just like, I'm not gonna tell you how. Like, that makes me uncomfortable. And he says not to be stupid, that he's not asking me, like, what position I was in. He wants to know, like, how is it possible? And I'm just like, I don't know. Like, it just happened. He's like, how does it just happen? So I didn't know how to answer that question, and maybe I was just too like to answer that. But even now, I'm just like, how would I answer that? Like, it happened. I had sex. Like, I don't, like, what do you mean? But he wanted to know, like, how many times? I don't understand. And I'm like, well, I don't know how to explain. How don't you know how to explain? You don't know how babies are made? I'm like, you don't know how babies are made? Don't be a smart ass with me. And I'm just like, I'm not. I'm just confused of, like, how you want me to answer that. Like, I don't know how to answer that without me sounding like a smart ass. And I swear to God, I really did not know how to answer that without me coming off like, are you dumb? So we have this long conversation, and he is just very, like, he's like disgusted, but I think he was just wowed about how much I was having and all of that. And I didn't know what to say and how to say it just to end the conversation already, because I was so uncomfortable. I was just like, and then at the same time I was like fighting with myself, like, is this a normal discussion to have with, you know, like a parent about something? And I feel like I would have been more comfortable talking to my mom about the situation, but even my mom didn't even ask me questions like that. But I was like, maybe I just don't know what it is to have like a parent to ask these questions, because my mom don't ask me this question. Like, it was like a total like mind thing. So he is just like, wow, like I can't, like I can't believe that you were doing that. Like, I just think that you're out here having fun with your friends, but you're not. You're doing this and you're, you know, doing bad stuff. And I'm just like quiet, because like, what do I say? So I'm like, he tells me he's disappointed, but that I probably don't even care that I disappointed him. And to be 100% honest, I didn't like, I was just like, I didn't care. I didn't care if anybody was disappointed, to be honest. I don't care if I like disappointed anybody. Well, I was just like, okay, like, I don't know how to explain it. It was just like a, yeah, if anything, I was pretty like, that I disappointed my mom, but I was still like, okay, I did it. Like, I know what I did. Like, I felt like if I were to admit that like, oh, I disappointed, you know, them or her, it was like me regretting, or I don't know. And I don't know if that's like my OCD thing, where it's like, oh, if you say it like this and it means this, like, it really is like, it messes with you like really bad. Like, there's things where I'm like, I have to say it this way, because if I say it this way, then that means that the day's gonna go like this, and it's really hard. Like, I don't wish that type of like having to say things a certain way or breathe them this amount of times, because if you don't breathe this amount of times, or like, it's a lot. Like, it literally is a lot, and it's so draining. And I felt in a way that if I were to been like, oh yeah, I disappointed them, I feel bad about it, was me saying I regretted and it was going to do something, like, but in reality it wasn't going to do it. It was just like, it's okay. But I don't know how to even tell grown Lex like, it's fine, that's not what it means, because it's just so hard. Like, it's super hard. I don't know how to explain it. So Mrs. Peach ends up returning a little bit later, and she's just there to like be with the kids. It's super awkward because like, I don't know what they're doing. Like, I don't know what it is that they're doing, what's the whole like little routine that they want to do like with the kids and stuff like that. I don't know what to say, like what to do. Mr. Peach is just super upset anytime she tries to include him in the conversation, and he goes, okay, what? Like, he's just like, don't talk to me. Like, he does not like how she's like going back and forth. So as she's there, she tells me that she needs to talk to me. She has a couple questions for me, and I'm like, great, I'm gonna have to sit down with her and get interrogated the same freaking way. Hers was a little bit different, and she was asking me if I was taking any vitamins and what was I gonna do, and not to think that they're gonna help me in any way, and that she doesn't think it's a good idea to stay there, that she feels like they pretty much helped this happen, and she doesn't want people thinking that they condone this behavior. And I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, like I get that. And she's like, do you not understand like how you're gonna look walking around with a pants on? Like, do you not understand like how it's going to look? Like, I need you to really think about how it's going to look and how embarrassing. And I'm like, no, I don't think so. Like, I kind of smiled. I don't know if it was because out of, hello?
Where are you?
I'm in the room recording, Mama. I'm almost done.
I see you in a minute.
Yeah, I'm about to finish. Alrighty, love you, Mom.
Love you too.
Okay, bye. That she wanted me to really think about how stupid I was going to look, and I was like, and then I looked stupid. And she's like, no, I bet you que vas a tomar fotos. I'm probably gonna take pictures. And I was like, yeah, quiero tomar fotos, because like I like to remember everything, to document everything. No, maybe this is something that you shouldn't. It's embarrassing. And that she doesn't understand that, like, why I'm not accepting that, like, it's embarrassing. And I'm like, okay, like, yeah, it's embarrassing. No, don't just say it because I'm saying it. Like, you need to understand, like, it's embarrassing. And I'm like, okay, like, yeah, entiendo, like, I understand, like, it's embarrassing. And she's like, no, you don't understand it. That instead of me crying and not being able to, you know, show remorse or anything, that I just look like this. And I'm like laughing inside because I'm like, yeah, bitch, because I'm over here like freaking out trying to think about like what I'm gonna do and trying to see like, oh my god, like what if I think so hard I can like look in the future and like tell myself if things are gonna be all right, or I don't know, you know. And so she tells me that, you know what, Alexis, it doesn't matter because it's your life. It's your life, not mine. She doesn't care. Do what you want. She doesn't care. But that it's different when you wait to have kids and have them on purpose. And so I'm like, oh, like you? And she just like looks at me. She's like, don't insult me. I didn't know what else to say besides okay. She tells me to go finish up whatever else I'm doing, that she is going to need me to help her at her apartment. And I'm like, oh, you have a new apartment? Isn't that what I just said? I'm like, yeah, you did. Okay. And so I ask her if Mr. Peach knows, and she says that I get paid by them both. I'm like, well, I don't really get Alexis, I'm not gonna go over this with you because I hate when they would say that they would pay me. They were paying me by me living there. I just didn't like how it sounded when they would say it. So anytime like I had to like correct them, I would, because it's just like I don't want y'all to really think that you guys paid me or to be any type of confusion. You didn't pay me, you know. So she tells me to go get ready, and I go get ready, finish up what I was doing. Mr. Peach asks me what am I doing, and before I could like tell him, she tells him that I'm gonna go with her to go run some errands. And he like looks at me. I was like, yeah, she has a new apartment, she needs help. She looks at me like so ugly, like ugh. He's like, oh, okay. Another thing I don't know. Another thing I don't know. Like so like dramatic and annoyed. She just looks at me like she just wants to like, you know, are you happy? Are you happy? I'm like, no, I'm embarrassed. So we get in the car, we pack the littles, get them in the car, we stop at a couple stores to get some stuff. She seems like she's like trying to get in a better mood and not trying to like marinate on like the negative, you know. Helping her get like broom, get like cleaning supplies. We get stuff for her new casa. It's pretty nice. Like it's pretty nice. She's really excited. She's like telling the kids like, you see, this will be your room, this will be your room. They keep asking like, where's dad's room gonna be? And she's like, oh, okay, we'll talk about that later. Like she's like not trying to answer those kind of questions, and they are just like excited, like, oh, I want this one, I want that one. It was so freaking nice. And I just continued to like look around, and she's like, what are you looking for? And your room's not here, you don't have a room here. And it was like trying to be funny, but it was just like so bitchy, and I was just like, how can you be so ugly when I watch your babies? Like I will never understand. Like how can you be so nasty knowing that like I watch your kids? So I'm helping her with the place. We're mopping, we're sweeping, we're cleaning the bathtub, the toilet, anything that you can possibly think of. We are like cleaning it, getting it done. And she orders some pizza, and Mr. Peach is like texting from here and there, asking if everything's good. How's the apartamento? Like, if does it look expensive? And I'm like, se mira bien, like it looks really nice. Oh, of course it would look nice. Of course, like I don't care. I don't want to have this discussion with you. I don't care. So when he kept saying things like that, I would ignore him until he like asked me another question, because I'm like hopefully if I answer like this, he will get the hint and stop. Does he? No. Is he stupid? Yes. So we order some pizza, and she tells me that to not get comfortable because I took my shoes off because my feet were hurting because we were on them for a long time. So I just took them off. She's like, don't get comfortable. No se quedar aquí. Like I'm not gonna stay there. And I'm like, okay. So I just put them right back on. She's like, ay, no puedo decir nada. That she can't ever say anything. What the hell am I supposed to do when you say something like that? It's so confusing. I don't get it. So we're sitting there eating the food, the kids eat, they go and watch TV. And she tells me that she was talking to Mr. Peach, and he said that I don't know who the father is. And I'm like, mentiras. Like right away I was like, lies. Relájate, like to calm down. And I'm like, no, like I don't like that, like it's mentiras. She's like, está bien si no sabes, like it's okay if you don't know. And I was like, but I do know. And she's like, and you're 100% on that? I was like, yep, 100%. I could put my life, I could put millions down. And she's like, está. I was like, te dije. Like I'm like, I already told you. I know. She thinks it's Joe, and I'm like, no. She's like, it would make sense, he has a lot of money, you like him. I'm like, nope, no fuerte. And that's not why I was doing it, because of money or because of this or because of that. She's like, oh, so you're just stupid. And so I was like, yeah, I'm just stupid. I don't know how bad I wanted to be like, yeah, I'm not like you. Didn't think this all out. Didn't think like each one of my kids is a payout. Not thinking like that. She says, I know you don't want to listen, but it's the best thing for you is to not have it. To not have it and to repent. That it's okay. If that's why I'm not doing it, it's okay. That I can repent. And I'm like, no, that's not why. And she's like, then por qué quieres hijo? Like, why do I want to, a kid? And I'm like, because I know what I was doing. And she's like, no, you weren't. No. Okay, like she knows I'm stupid, but not that stupid. And I was like, well, surprise. Voy a tener like I'm going to have a kid. No. That I'm willing to give up like my job, living with them because I want to be stubborn. And I'm like, well, I guess so. So it seems like she's trying to get like information out of me. So she tells me that she just can't believe it. That she just can't believe it. That she really thinks that it could be Joe's. And I was like, no, not mine. Not mine. Que mensa. Like how dumb. Like how dumb are you? And I was like, it doesn't matter even if we were to have a baby by him. It doesn't mean anything. And I was like, didn't Sam's mom get pregnant by Mr. Peach? She's like, hey, relájate, like to relax. I was like, tú también estás embarazada and todavía no estás contenta. Like you're pregnant too, but you're still not happy. Yeah, I never said anything about being happy. I was like, well, I'm happy. She's like, okay, whatever you need to tell yourself, Alexis. But that's not the truth. And I was like, okay. I didn't know what to say. Like I didn't know like what, I don't know. Like honestly, like I just felt like, yeah, I could get scolded for my actions, but I feel like there was a difference with being scolded and then they were just straight like trying to punk on me about it, you know? And I just felt like, okay, this is a conversation I'll have with my mom, and I don't even know 100% yet. When I go with Tommy, then I'll know 100%, and that's when I'll let the insults really come in and sting, you know? She tells me to get ready, that she's going to drop me back off. As we're getting ready to leave, vacation comes, and he has like a really nice flower bouquet, and he's telling her that, oh, I didn't know that you had plans, you were gonna leave. And she's like, yeah, well, we'll be back, make yourself at home. The kids are just straight like just looking at him, like super annoyed with him. We get in the car, they say not to tell their dad anything because then you guys will never be able to come over here. I don't really like telling her anything like I would tell Mr. Peach, because I feel like her craziness was different than his craziness, you know? So I just stayed quiet and looked at them in the rear mirror any chance I got, and did the whole like, you know, like it's fine. We get inside, she doesn't even come out, she just like take off. Mr. Peach is like, so how was it, huh? And starts telling me that he can't believe that I went over there, that like I could have said no, that just because I work for them doesn't mean I can just do whatever they say. And it's like, oh yeah, how convenient. Munchkin tells him that mommy has a new friend. He gets immediately mad, looks at me, and I just put my head down, like I'm not gonna even try to get in it. I don't even want to. He starts asking the kids like a million questions. They tell him that mommy's friend came when we left. He gave mommy flowers. They're giving him the whole spiel. And I'm just like, dang, Munchkin, you messed up because now your mommy's not gonna come and take you. I don't know why she didn't take him with her when Munchkin is the one to like give the cheese miss. Like never fails, you know? So immediately he goes on his phone, he starts screaming, fighting with her, telling her that he hates her, that he wants a paternity test, and he can't believe her, that is she not embarrassed, that what kind of example that she's setting, and just cussing her out, that she's not going to take anything from the house, that he paid for everything, he doesn't care this, he doesn't care that. Like he is just going in on her. He gets off the phone eventually and he tries to settle down and come sit next to the kids, but like I could just tell like he wanted to cry. Quiero llorar. Like he wanted to so bad. And I kind of wanted him to, just so that he could just be like feel sadness, how he was making me feel sadness when he was over here talking to me about being embarrassed and this and that. And damn, it came around real quick, huh? Bitch, you're right on the culo, right on the ass crack. Y'all, I'm not gonna even attempt to like do my bangs here because they are just going to right back up. Right the back up. Oh, what's up, mama?
Hey, did I close the door on you?
No, I closed it so that it wouldn't be open for the thingy.
To what?
Well, like when I record, so you wouldn't see the back, you know?
Oh.
After he's done being asked for, put the kids to sleep, and I come downstairs, clean up, I put something on the TV, and he's just going up and down, doing stuff around the house, moving stuff around, throwing stuff away. He's like super duper in his feelings, so I'm just like trying to avoid him. He's having to be here, having to be there, and we're just like literally just trying to avoid each other as much as possible. Like he'll come in the kitchen and like look around, grab something, ask me a question, and I'll just try to avoid him. So he goes upstairs and I just let him like just chill upstairs. I'm not like asking any questions like, oh, you need this, you need that. Oh, never mind. I thought it was grandma coming in. I'm not trying to bother him. I'm not trying to conversate because I don't want the topic of like, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? What? I'm not trying to, you know, any of that. So everything settled down. I'm watching a movie, and on a movie there's like an intimate scene that comes on, and I'm like, he happens to be coming down at the exact time, and he is straight like walking straight toward the kitchen. So I'm like, okay, great. There's a scene where on her back, and he goes, you see, that's what you should have done. I just immediately turn it off and I'm like, ya me voy a dormir. Like, I'm gonna go to bed already. He's like, no te enojes. Like, oh, don't get mad. Like, I'm just saying, you know, if that would have happened, or your face. And he starts laughing and he's drinking. And so I'm like, okay, yeah. Like, I'm just not gonna even deal with him. Like, oh, whatever. So I go upstairs, and a couple of minutes later, I hear the door open, and it's Baltimore. Like, you hear her voice. They end up coming upstairs thinking that they are super duper quiet. As he goes upstairs, I'm like, okay, cool. I'm just laying there and I cannot get out of my head. I'm just like thinking about like everything. I can't get out of my head, and I'm just trying to like think about like, what is it that I'm gonna do? What is it that I'm gonna do? I don't know. I eventually end up falling asleep. I wake up to a phone call, and it's my mom. She's calling me from the big place. Coming for the big place. She's just checking in, and I'm like the whole time waiting for her to be like, I know what happened. This, she told me this, she told me that, but she doesn't say any. So it puts me like in a good mood. She is getting on her medication, and my mom does like a whole 360 when she's on her medication. She is my mom, so it makes me just like feel better. And I tell her, you know, like, when you get out, like, I really want to talk to you about something. She's telling me that whatever it is, that it's fine. I kind of feel like she knows, but she's not really like telling me anything. She's probably just waiting for me to tell her. The day goes on, and me and Mr. Peach go and visit Sam. She still has to stay in there again, and she is super pissed off. Mr. Peach is telling her that she's not gonna be able to do this, so many things. He got into it with Mrs. Bubbles' husband because they're supposed to be a no contact. Remember, they were not supposed to be contacting each other at all. When Mr. Peach called and he was cussing them out, that like, yeah, he's been here, he's been there. And then Joe was like, oh, why did you tell them anything? To me, didn't respond. Like, to me, he's dead to me. Ever since I seen that, he is dead to me. Is it toxic to like have to like hurt myself and like put myself through that, and like, you know, instead of just like cutting it off? Yeah, but it's something that I had to do in order for me to move on. Is it healthy? No, but it's what I had to do, and it's what helped me. So he's like super pissed off that I snitched him out. Mr. Peach is telling him like that he knows that he was at his house. If he comes over again, that he's gonna charge it from this, and it's a whole big freaking fight. Mr. Peach tells me that if I wanted to ride the bus back home because he's gonna stay with Sam, or if I wanted someone to come pick me up, that he needs to stay here. At the end of this, I need to stay here. You see, when you have a kid, this is the type of things that you have to do. And he's gonna give me a whole speech. So I'm like, okay. So I just text the ex that if he can come pick me up, that I'm at the hospital. And he's like, oh, so you took care of it? And I'm like, no, I'm at the hospital with a family member. I did not take care of anything. Like, I'm not going to take care of anything until I figure out what I'm going to do, and if I am. Oh, okay, babe, like, I'm so sorry. Like, he like switched it. And so I'm like, I'm telling you, it was like love bombing and then like super toxic, love bombing and then super toxic. So he eventually picks me up, and I tell Mr. Peach that I'll be home later. He says that's fine, not to worry about it, it's fine. The kids are at home full tomorrow, so he's just like, do what you gotta do. So me and him spending time together, we go out eat, we're laughing. I literally forget about the whole like, we might be pregnant. Like, I forget all about it because I'm just like, I just want to be stuck in this good feel moment. We go and eat, we go eat Chinese, we're laughing, we go and we watch like a little movie. We don't watch the movie so much, if you know what I mean, and we're just literally having a good time. Now, I don't know if it's like an ADHD thing, but I get a boost of energy sometimes, and like I feel it coming on, and like I cannot chill out sometimes. Like, I just, before I didn't know what it was, you know, but now I know it's part of the ADHD thing where you can just get like a burst of energy. And literally, when I feel that coming on, I try to do as much as possible before I burn out. Well, back in the day, I was like, am I having a crackhead moment? Did my mom pass this down to me? Like, I literally was like, holy, we need to use this up as much as we possibly can. And it makes me almost feel like the confidence I had when I was like tipsy. So we leave the movie, and I am drinking a Mountain Dew, and I'm like in such a good mood, you guys. I'm just like, oh, and this isn't the first, the second, the third, or the fourth time he has done this to me where I get so freaking excited and he's like, stop. Like, that's so embarrassing. Like, why are you acting like that? And literally would like blow up my candle to my light. Like, it was just, it never failed. And I don't know why I still tried every single time when I got this like of energy, why I still like tried to like show that like happy, joyful side of me. I don't freaking know. So anyways, I just remember having my Mountain Dew, we're walking towards the car, and there is music playing, and so you can hear the music, and I just start like singing, and I'm like laughing, and like I like point to him, you know, like try to be like, have like a cute little moment, like, your turn, you know. And he just like looks at me, and he's like, why are you acting stupid? You're so embarrassing. Like, do you think you look cute when you do that? Like, do you think that you look attractive when you do that? And I'm like, I'm not thinking about all that. And I'm like, still like, you know, like having like a good time, like drinking. He's like, maybe stop drinking the Mountain Dew. Maybe that's too much sugar for you. Let's just go home. I gave him the ick, I guess, if you want to say. He was so annoyed, so turned off, like, why the fuck are you acting like that? Why are you doing that right now? And I was so confused. I just remember just like wanting to like curl up in a ball and just like, I felt so stupid. And what made me feel even more stupid is that there was people around and they were even kind of like bobbing their head, and I was just like being silly, like in a movie, like, you know, like a musical, when they start like dancing and stuff. And yeah, like he humiliated me, and he was just like, do you think you look cute? Do you think you look sexy? Do you think that like makes me think you're cute? Like, it was so embarrassing, and I felt so stupid. Like the whole time walking towards the car, I was like shut down, and then he was pissed off that I was shut down. Why are you acting like that now? Like why would you embarrass me like that? Like now, like I'm the one who's supposed to be mad, not you. Like I'm supposed to be mad, not you. And he just keeps telling me it over and over and over, and I am like still like stuck on like, no, like you're in the wrong. He's like, I'm not in the wrong, you're in the wrong. I'm like, no, like you made me feel dumb. And I'm like trying to explain to him how he made me feel stupid, and he's like, no, you made me feel stupid. Everyone's looking at us, you made me feel stupid. And I'm like, what? Like I was just having a good time, the song. And he was like, I hate how you don't know how to act, like you're so immature, this is even just another reason. I was like, shut up, you just want me to agree with you so bad. I'm not going to agree with you. It doesn't matter what you say, it doesn't matter what I do, or if I am immature or my age, I don't care. I'm still going to keep it. It doesn't matter what you say, it doesn't matter how much you try to hurt me, I am going to keep the baby. Like, I don't care. And he's like, why do you keep saying the baby? You don't even know for sure, you haven't even gone to the clinic, you're playing so many mind games. And I was like, I'm not playing mind games. The test said that I was positive, I'm telling you, and the other one was negative. And so I was like, I'm telling you there's a 50-50. I don't know, I still gotta go get checked. And I'm like arguing with him, and he is like so pissed off because I'm not agreeing with him. He's like, I hope you're really not this stupid, just tell me you're fucking with me, and that you know that was humiliating. Like, just tell me that around with me and you know that you look stupid. Just tell me that right now. Just tell me that you know that you look stupid, and we can go. And he's like, you know, holding the car, like he's holding the car in park. And I'm like, no. I was like, maybe you thought I looked stupid, but no. He's like, just tell the truth, just tell the truth, just admit it, you look stupid. And I'm like, no. Like I felt so dumb. And I felt like so like, no, I'm not going to agree with you. Like, I'm not going to agree with you because you're wrong. Like, even if I did look stupid or whatever for like having fun, I'm not going to agree with you because you think it's right. Like, I was having a good time. And he grabs my Mountain Dew and like just chucks it out the window. And he's like, I don't even know why you got so much sugar. And that's like, even if you, let's say you are, like that's bad for the baby. Like, you're so stupid. You just keep showing me more and more and more and more. Like, stupid. Like, he was so mad. And the whole time in my head I'm just like, why did you even dance? Why did you even dance? Why did you even think that was like a good time to dance? Like, remember other times he has done this? Like, why did you think that this would be different? Huh? Like, why? Like, he literally thinks you look stupid. He literally is telling you like that is not attractive. Like, you're so stupid. And so as I'm like zoning out, like in my head, he's like, hello, are you gonna answer me? Are you gonna answer me? And I'm just like, and then my phone goes off. He grabs it like right away, like, who the fuck is texting you? And I get a message and it says, hey babe, how are you feeling? And I'm gonna leave it there. I love you guys so much. Besos a todos, and I'll see you guys in my next story time. Real quick, I forgot to mention, once we hit 7K, I will be posting the next story time ASAP. I will be in Texas, so please bear with me on of how quick it can go. It can be uploaded because I'm not sure where I'm going to be able to upload it at home, or have to go to a library. So bear with me on that, but I promise as soon as we hit 7K, I will try to get it up ASAP. I love you guys.